The market is on the move, guys. Go grab your vibe juice and meet me back here in the comic room because we got a lot to talk about. Dollar bin books spiking to all-time highs and great reads. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Keep It Comics. As always, I am your humble host, C3, and we are back with another top 10 list and market update for you. Yes, for you, the wonderful comic book community. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring that bell so every time I drop a video, you wonderful people will get that notification. We've got a great list for you in store. We're going to dive right on in. We're going to talk about a comic book that's been spiking for a little bit now. It's new on the market, but it's showing a lot of gains. At number 10 on the list, we want to talk about Marvel and Disney. What if Donald Duck became Wolverine? And this is that Scotty Young 1 in 25 version, second print variant. This book is up 13.56%. Last recorded sale for this book was $76. Average price for the raw copy is $57 at the moment. We do not have any graded information on this book right now, as like I said, this is a fairly new book. So, but we did have an all-time high of $80 for a raw copy in near mint condition, and that was back on August 9th of 2024. We've had a total of 10 sales for this particular Scotty Young piece of masterpiece so far. So fair market value has it resting at $50 for a raw copy and near mint condition. So Marvel and Disney, what if Donald Duck became Wolverine, issue number 1. It's spiking on the secondary market, ladies and gentlemen. You may want to get yourself one while you still have an opportunity. On the list at number 9, we want to talk about Black Panther, issue number 1. And this is the first solo Black Panther series. Absolutely. This book is just now starting to get the love that it deserves, right? I always felt like this book may not have been getting the respect that it deserves. But I think with that last installment of what Chadwick Boseman gave us, how he played T'Challa, has really elevated this character to new heights and where it needed to be in the comic book community. The last recorded sale for this book was $79, ladies and gentlemen. This book is currently up on the secondary market at 53.13%, with raw copies going for $67 and the average graded copy running you roughly about $156. We had an all-time high of $4,191, which is still not that bad for this book, but considering today's modern climate, economic climate, you can get this book for a heck of a lot less. We've had 2,797 total sales for this book so far. Fair market value has it resting at $67 for the raw copy in very fine condition. And after comparing notes, I went and checked on Go Collect, and I found out that there are 5,899 universal grades on the census. We've got 262 9.8s. We've got 827 9.6s. We've got 910 9.4s. We've got 740 9.2s, and we've got 761 9.0s. The 9.8s are currently going for about $780 to about $800, and that's a difference of about $3,421 down from its all-time high, right? The 9.6s are currently going for about $330, and that's a difference of $3,861. The 9.4s current value is probably going roughly between $220 to $240. That's about a $3,971 difference down from its all-time high. So you have a very affordable comic book here when you talk about Black Panther issue number 1, the first solo Black Panther series. Definitely in that realm of magnificent comic books. Yes, I'm gonna call it magnificent because I truly enjoyed this book. I love the character. I was not that interested in this book before I watched him being played by Chadwick Boseman, right? But once I saw how Boseman, rest in peace, played this character, I was sold. Yes, absolutely. And I've been a Black Panther fan ever since, right? And I'm still hopeful that, you know, one day we'll see the Black Panther back on the big screen in that magnificent light. And you know, and just for spits and giggles, one 9.8 recently sold for $875. It sold for actually under asking price. They were asking $875, and it sold for a little less. So just so you know, this book is still extremely affordable. It's on the move. It's spiking on the market. So now may be a good time for you to get yourself one. All right. And speaking of which, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. If you enjoy this type of content, leave a comment down below. Don't forget, join the Patreon. It really supports the channel. I'll leave the link in the description. It's good vibes only, ladies and gentlemen. I got mine. Keep it comics. I'm your boy C3. I love what I do. I do it for the culture, baby. And I appreciate each and every one of you. On the list at number 8, right? We want to talk Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, issue number 1. And this is the 1 in 50 Hidden Gem facsimile cover. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. This reprints the first cameo appearance of the Beyonder. This book is currently up right now at 62.26%, with the last recorded sale for this book being $55 for a raw copy in near mint condition. The average price, for a 9.8. It was $55 for a 9.8, pardon myself, as I articulate the infringements of these numerical positions on the list. All right, don't mind me. Average price for the raw copy is $7. Average price for the graded copy is $55. We had an all-time high, and that was that $55 for the CGC 9.8, and that took place in September of just 2024, which was not that long ago. Total sales so far for this book, $23, ladies and gentlemen. And fair market value has this book resting at $7 for the raw copy in their mint condition. All right, so if you're in the market for that new 1 in 50 Hidden Gem facsimile variant, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars, issue number 1, it's on the move. So keep your eye on it. And speaking of moving, we're going to move right along. And we are at the list. We are on the list at number 7, right? And we got to talk a little bit of DC. All right, so let's talk about Justice League, issue number 1. And this is the direct edition. First of all, in my opinion, this is probably like one of the most iconic covers out there on the market. When you speak in terms of Justice League, every time you see this cover, whenever I see this cover, I pick it up, right? As long as it's in good condition, decent condition, I grab it, because this is, I've got a ton of these in my collection. But this is one of those iconic covers that I never get enough of, me personally, right? This is the first appearance of Maxwell Lord. And this book is currently up 65.67%, with the last recorded sale for this book being $32. Average price for the raw copy, $6. Average price for the graded copy is $105. Now, you're talking about dollar bin book that continues to move on the secondary market. As dollar bin books spike, I think that's going to show us that the comic book community, the comic book collection, the comic book hobby is not dead. All right? So as we watch dollar bin books like this gain value, we continue to we have to be excited. I'm excited about that. We had an all-time high for this book in 2023, where this book sold for $230 for a CGC 9.8. Average price for the graded copy on this book is $105. We've had a total of 1,106 sales for this particular book that has changed hands on the secondary market. And fair market value for this book rests at $6 for the raw copy in very fine condition. All right. Now, I even checked Go Collect, because it was important that I share this information with you. There's 1,015 universal grades on the census, which, according to this, when I thought about this book, I thought it would be a lot more. So I was actually surprised that it wasn't over 2,000. You know what I mean? There's a few. There's 1,000 of them, which is still a lot, but it's not a lot in terms of rarity, if you know what I'm talking about. Excuse me. There is 421 9.8s, 277 9.6s, 146 9.4s, 64 9.2s, and 41 9.0s. Now, In this current economic climate, the 9.8's fair market value currently rests at $120 for the 9.8. Now, raw and very fine, $6. 9.8 fair market value, $20. So choose your poison carefully. These books are out there. They're moving. Justice League, issue number 1, the direct edition, is starting to move on the secondary market. It's doing numbers, 1,106 copies sold so far. On the list at number 6, we got more DC we're going to talk about. And let's highlight Green Lantern, issue number 54, direct edition. And this is the death of Alex DeWitt and that controversial fringing issue. Yes, there's always controversy. Why? Why must we always have controversy? Leave a comment down below. Me personally, I love controversy in my comic books. In my comic books. Not in my life, in my comic books. All right? Last recorded sale for this book was $13. This book is currently up right now, my guys. 72.43%. Average price for the raw copy, $5. Average price for the graded copy, $49. We had an all-time high of $100 that took place with 370 total sales thus far, right? Fair market value has this book resting at $5 for the raw copy in very fine condition. So, if you're in the market for Green Lantern, issue number 54, the direct edition, keep your eye out on it because it's definitely moving on the secondary market. It's spiking. It's getting the just respect that it deserves. It is being highlighted on Keep It Comics. C3 shows you all the comic books that not everybody's talking about. If you want to watch repeat after repeat after repeat, you got to go to the other guys. I will continue to dig and show you comic books that not a lot of people are talking about, but are still doing well on the secondary market and are great additions to anybody's PC. That's my disclaimer. All right? We've made it, ladies and gentlemen, to the halfway mark. Let me just stop and thank each and every one of you for checking out the channel. It's good vibes only. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. I'm here every week dropping a hot 10 list. It's not like everybody else's hot 10 list. This is a different list. So if you like versatility, if you like options, if you like to, peruse the perimeter for different things, this is the place to be. All right, I will always share with you the most accurate, up-to-date information possible. If I make a mistake, it's all good. Just leave a comment down below. Let me know what it is. I'm not perfect, never claim to be. That's the beauty of it. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just having a good time. All right, so thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. It's Keep It Comics. I'm C3. This is my comic room. This is the comic room, and this is where we have all the fun. This is where the magic happens. All right, so thank you guys once again. I hope you guys enjoy the content. You can comment down below. You can join the Patreon. I'll leave the link in the description. And I struggle with that because I am far from computer savvy, from tech savvy. How do I put this over here, over there? I'll figure it out eventually. If I didn't leave it the last time when I said I would, it's because I did it wrong. So I'll try it again, all right? Thank you guys. Now, we are back on this list at number 5. And we got a good Western for all you guys out there who like collecting those Western comic books. My dad is a big Western fan. This is going to be tough to land in a high grade, but it's definitely out there. And we want to talk about the Gun Hawks, issue number 1. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. I will leave no stone unturned in talks of bringing you some of the hottest comic books on the secondary market, right? Not just the ones that are being optioned and that they're talking about because there's a movie coming out, but there are other books that are definitely PC worthy and need to be highlighted. And I'm the guy for that. I'm just the man for the job, all right? So this is the first team appearance of the Gun Hawks, Reno Jones and Kid Cassidy. I used to watch these guys back in the day when I was growing up. I grew up in Louisiana, so things like this, Gunsmoke, Dallas, what's the other one? Maverick, Rifleman, All this stuff is what I grew up with, so I'm super excited being able to highlight this one. Last recorded sale for this book was $54, and this book is currently up right now at 103%, ladies and gentlemen. And this book is doing well on the secondary market. No, this is actually 110.3%. Excuse me, 110.3%. Average price for the raw copy is $14. Average price for the graded copy is $81. We had an all-time high that took place back in 2022 with CGC 9.4. So for $336. Fair market value has this book resting at $14 for the raw copy in very good condition, and we've had 166 sales of this particular book that is sold so far. So if you're in the mood, or if you're on the market looking for the Gun Hawks, issue number 1. I got all those TV shows stuck in my brain now. If you're on the market, if you are looking for the Gun Hunters, issue number 1, keep your eye out for it because it's on the move on the market, all right? On the list at number 4, Dollar Bin Books spiking, right? This made the top 10 list for the second time in a row. And we're going to talk about the Immortal Hulk, issue number 17. This is that Raza comic exposure variant. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first Rick Jones as the second Abomination. Yeah, this is the second Abomination, all right? I don't know if a lot of you knew that there was 2 Abominations, but this is the second one. Last recorded sale for this book was just $1, right? And this book is currently up. Dollar Bin Books spiking 126.77%. Average price for the raw copy, just $5. Average price for the graded copy is $51. We had an all-time high of $60, right? With a total of 232 sales that has taken place for this book so far. Fair market value has this book resting at $5 for a raw copy in near mint condition. And if you love the Immortal Hulk like I love the Immortal Hulk, this book is definitely one for the PC. That Raza comic exposure variant. This is the first Rick Jones as the second Abomination. It's moving on the secondary market, and it may be time for you to get yourself one. All right? On the list at number 3, this book is great for the season. So that's why I put it on the list. It's a perfect book for this time of year. We're going into the Halloween season. So let's talk Lilith, issue number 1. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. This is that Vile Vice and Tim Daniel cosplay 1 in 5 variant. I love the artwork. This is just a beautiful display. Excellent book for this time of year. Last recorded sale, $10. Won't break the bank, right? I love when I can get a beautiful comic book that won't break the bank. This book is up right now, 5.97%. Average price for the raw copy is $10. There is no graded information on this book. This is a new book, just came out not too long ago. But if anything happens on Go Collect, I'll definitely inform you and let you know about it. We'll bring it back around and talk about it. All right, but we had an all-time high. That was, again, the $10. $10 being the magic number for this particular book. Just look at this beautiful artwork. You can't go wrong. Just $10, right? And you can add this to your comic book collection. And it's great for displaying around about this time of the year. Fair market value for this book, again, $10, raw copy, near mint condition. We've had a total of 14 sales for this particular book that has changed hands so far. So if you're in the market for this Lilith, if you think that you have been sold, right, on this particular comic book, keep your eye on it because it's moving on the secondary market. And it's not going to cost you a lot to add this one to your collection. All right, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, because we're getting it done over here at Keep It Comics. I'm your host, C3. It's always good vibes. Let's talk about the number 2 comic on the list. Let's talk another book that's perfect for this time of year. Just check out this cover, ladies and gentlemen. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. This is Mark Spears' Monsters, issue number 1, and this is cover E. Just a fabulous cover. This is a hot piece of cover. This is hot cover art all day long. I don't care where you are in the world. You can't be mad at this comic book. Halloween is here. It's coming. And this is something that I definitely wouldn't mind displaying around the house. Just, you know, as company come over, they get to marvel at the books that I have displayed out on the floor. I'm very strategic and very careful when I do that, though, because a lot of times people tend to want to touch and grab things, and I have to be like, don't touch that. You can look at it, but don't touch it. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Who did? I'll explain it to you, but please don't touch it. Right? But, you know, this book is right now up right now, 44.54%. Last recorded sale for this book was $19. Average price for the raw copy is just $20. Now, again, there's no graded information on this book. And I know you guys are like, C3, why these books are not? It's too soon. But it doesn't mean that it's not a hot book and it's not something that you should be highlighted on, like you should be informed about, right? Just because there's no graded information doesn't mean that it's not a hot book or it can't be a hot book or that there's no opportunity for growth in it. Who knows? Collecting starts with you. Collecting starts with you. All right? Excuse me. Now, we had an all-time high of $30 for a raw copy that took place back on September 21st with 47 sales that has transpired so far. And the beautiful thing about this is fair market value has this book resting at $20 for the raw copy and near mint condition. So again, beautiful artwork, great for Halloween display, not gonna break the bank, doing well on the secondary market. So Mark Spears, Monsters issue #1, cover E, hot cover alert. Keep your eye out on it because it's moving on the secondary market. Again, we're moving right along, and we have finally made it to the #1 hottest comic book on the market. And we have to talk, this is definitely going to be tough to land in high grade. It's an iconic book. We have to highlight The Amazing Spider-Man, issue #5, and this is the first Dr. Doom versus Spider-Man. Oh, yes. Doom is hot right now. Here's my guy. I'm excited about Doom, man. I'm ecstatic that he's getting his respect because he's one of the most prolific bad guys in the Marvel Universe, and they just haven't quite gotten him right. So I'm really hoping that they get him right this time. All right. Last recorded sale for this book for 8.5, for a CGC 8.5, went for $7,500. Whoa. You guys are like, that's a lot of money, C3. Absolutely. But this is an iconic book. Definitely worthy of every penny, right? This book is up right now, 19%. Average price for the raw copy, $706, while the average price for the graded copy is $770. And that's roughly in that 3.0, 4.5 territory. We had an all-time high that took place for a CGC 9.8 back in 2009, where someone paid $97,000 for this book. Now, considering our current economic climate, I'm absolutely certain that you can get this book for a lot less because fair market value has this book resting at $706 for the raw copy in very good condition. We did have a total of 1,100 sales for this book transpire so far, but after check and go collect, I learned that there's 2,977 universal grades on the census. There's one CGC 9.8. Somebody's lucky enough to have that one CGC 9.8. Congratulations to you, whoever you are. There are 10 9.6s, and the current fair market value for the 9.6 is $17,500. Right? So the 9.4s, we have 15 9.4s, and the current fair market value for the 9.4 is $13,500. We've got 29 9.2s, and the current fair market value for the 9.2 is $11,500. And we've got 35 9.0s, and the current fair market value for the 9.0 is $7,500. So those are your numbers, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in the market for Amazing Spider-Man, issue #5, this iconic meeting, this iconic battle, keep your eye out on this book. Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 5. It's moving on the secondary market. It will be tough to get your hands on that single 9.8, but anything's possible. They say money talks, and you know BS walks the line. All right, so that's your list, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's good vibes only. I'm your host, C3. Thank you for checking out the channel. I'll see you guys next video, and always keep it comics. Peace. Later, Gators, because you know what it is.